All right, everyone. Here we are with ticker symbol NIO, Neo Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow, and to all my subscribers, welcome back. So, Neo Inc. had some volatility today, and as I stated yesterday, if it broke through these lows down here of about 38.13, 38.11, give or take, it would hit newer lows. And it slightly caught up to that point, but it did not break through it. It reached 38.63. From that point forward, it actually bounced back. And here we are seeing that it's had a very bullish run from that point forward, broke through the 50-day moving average, using it as support and reached newer highs. And it's currently at 43.30. So very important numbers to keep in mind right now are these lows down here, especially today's low of 38.63, 38.62, give or take. And from that point forward, that it started to jump up and reach newer highs. Now, on the bullish end of things, if this bullish run and momentum continues, one of the most important numbers right now is 44.65, so that you guys can keep that number in mind. 44.65, super important number to pay close attention to as this run continues, and for the bulls to break through that to reach newer highs and newer resistance levels to continue to pull through. It's one of the highest points before this fell below the 50-day moving average and started to hit these newer lows that we are seeing currently based off the chart. So keep those numbers in mind. Now, support was broken through, but it only lasted for about 2 hours. And from that point forward, the bulls reappeared and brought this one up to the point, like I stated earlier, they broke through the 50-day moving average and they got back into bullish territory. Now, the question is, could the bulls hold this up? That's the main question here. So we're going to look at our new resistance level. We're going to look at a midway point that I would use as a point of reference. Right? It's not really your true definitive support level, but it's one of the lowest points before it continued to run as it leveled off. And I'm also going to point out the lowest point here, which is our true support to keep in mind depending on the volatility of this stock. So we're going to look at these numbers closely now. And we're also going to see what the chart is telling us based off of these numbers. And I'm also going to point out how the 50-day moving average is an important number to keep in mind. So the 50-day moving average is $42, and it's super important as well because it is another support as a reference to know if this is heading downwards and ending up in bearish territory. So it's a good point of reference to keep in mind. I highly suggest using it, but if your risk tolerance or you're able to hold on till the next support, you're more than welcome to. And then obviously this is the support level, which is one of the lowest points as it dipped before it leveled off and brought itself back up. So we're going to break this down to the T. So for the bulls to continue this run and hold this momentum and stay above the 50-day moving average and continue to pull up and reach newer highs, they need to break through 43.48. Super important for the bulls. They need to break through 43.48, turn that into a support, and pull away from there to reach new highs and newer resistance levels. Super important for the bulls. Now, on the other hand, we have what the bears want. So they're going to go ahead and try to break through the 50-day moving average, break through support, which is way down here at 39.53. And I want to emphasize to all investors, this is pretty deep into bearish territory, as we can see. And we have two other filters basically to go ahead and pay close attention to as it's breaking newer lows and if it's bouncing back up from there. But if 39.53 does get broken through, my emphasis to all investors is pay close attention to what's going on in the chart. Are the bulls trying to reappear, or are the bears dominating this chart, pulling it further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction? So keep that in mind. Now, As I stated, we have two filters before this support. This is not necessarily a support, but based off of how the chart was acting, this is one of the points where it almost could have became a support level and changed from a bullish candlestick to a bearish one, because it leveled off and the tug of war was going on, and then the bulls continued the run. And this point right here is 41.14. You can use it as a point of reference and a midway point to see where this is heading, how quickly this is hitting newer lows, pulling away from the 50-day moving average, or will it bounce back from there and the bulls bring this back up? Because that's another possibility as well. So at least you're able to kind of dissect this, pay close attention to it, and break it down to the T here as it's moving, and see what is going on and what is best for you as an investor and for you to make your own rational decisions. So you can use 41.14, but honestly, you can use the 50-day moving average, and if that gets broken through, pay close attention to the behavior from that point forward, not just wait till 41.14. And the bulls need to break through this point. I need to emphasize that this resistance level needs to be broken through. 43.48, turn that into a support and pull away from it. Again, as I stated, you want to use the 50-day moving average. I highly suggest it as a support, and that way you have three support systems here in place to see what's going on, how it's reacting from the 50-day moving average to 41.14, and how it's reacting if it breaks through 41.14, from 41.14 all the way down to 39.53. And you're able to go ahead, analyze it, break it down, and pay close attention to it. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video. In that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points on scheduled dates. On these dates, the Federal Reserve pump is pumping the markets, and in turn, the S&P 500 index is rising. What does that mean for us as investors? Well, if the S&P 500 index is rising, there's individual ticker symbols within it rising up with it as well. I highly encourage you to check out the video. I talk about it in the video. More detailed and informative information is there. And not only that, but the charts and the dates speak for themselves. But just to give you a little summary, if the S&P 500 index is rising, individual ticker symbols are rising up with it. Anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share, and maybe even more according to how the volatility is. I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm just there to share the information and that you guys don't overlook it. Check it out. Click on the video. It should be popping up soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.